Sawyer back again. The program that may still be here, I suspect is still here. Okay, when members of the next level come and they bring the elders of the classroom back with them, termed the saints in the religious literature, what's coming back is a soul that detached from the vehicle that it was born from. Now that soul has all the experiences of that vehicle recorded in it, and everything it received from its older members recorded in it. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if it also doesn't have a snapshot of exactly what the vehicle looks like. Or if it doesn't have that in the soul, then well, because it's a memory, right? We know what we look like. If we look in the mirror, we know what we look like. So it's a memory. So I guess it depends on whether our memories also go into the soul pocket. Which I don't know. But let's say let's say that's the way it works. May not be accurate, but let's say that the next level has a way to make it work. Because they want to show everybody who the real thing was on Earth. And who do they want to show the most? The ones that say they're looking for the return of Jesus. Because they say they want that. So you can imagine a circumstance to where at some point they just show up. Not physically walking around with us, I don't think, but maybe they would be like sitting on a spacecraft, and with our telescopes we could actually see people through a window, and we can see their faces, and we can make out their faces completely. Maybe we could even do that with binoculars. Maybe we can even do it with the eye, because they could also project a frequency that could interface with our brains to produce an image, like a dream. And we would think we were daydreaming. So imagine if everybody on the planet that was still alive when this happens saw the image of Doe as they last saw him in the video, and they saw that face, and then they even saw some of the faces of the students that laid down their life with him, for the sake of the kingdom of heaven, kingdom of God, the older members, for the sake of the older members, for Doe. It was for Doe that they were doing it, but not because Doe required them to do that. It's because the Father required that of them. And Doe accepted the responsibility of what the students were required to do by looking to him with 100% of their trust. So to me, that's the clearest way that I've had to think about what might be left to happen in the final return, which is the judgment, the actual judgment time. It's all judgment's going on every day. Okay, we're all making decisions every day, and what we believe, what we don't believe, what we want to look at, what we're willing to consider, what we're not willing to consider, how we're going to act, what we want to change, what we don't care about changing, what who we want to spend our time with, what we want to do with our time if we have a choice besides just trying to survive. Anyway, so the program, what I'm saying is the vehicle spirit. In other words, the mind. Everything we do in our memory banks basically becomes part of a genetic structure, but it's frequency-based genetic structure. And it fits perfectly over the flesh molecular genetic structure. And depending on the quality of, which is like the voltage or the amperage, I'm not sure which would be the most appropriate, maybe the voltage. The voltage of the information determines how much of an imprint, how bright, actual in light, the spirit is. And that's all, well, so when they laid down their lives, the vehicles were left here. So what happened was there were two detachments, two souls left, because the saint that came back literally took over the vehicle that wanted to be taken over, and was willing to step aside to let it happen. That's what Tiendo said. What happened to the soul of the vehicle? And they said it's there. It's observing. It's learning. So the same thing for Do. The soul of that vehicle. Same thing with T. So I believe the dreams I've had are that soul of the vehicle that learned everything that came through it and is a remote communication program that is more than a program, because it's next level based. So I believe it can make choices. It's a soul that I don't know, may have to come back to get its own wings, so to speak. I don't know how that works. Because in a sense, a lot was done for it by having the presence of an older mind there and the teacher. I would guess. I don't know. So basically that's how Do can come to us in our dreams and literally be there, while the soul that was the older member from the next level actually in the next level spacecraft that's invisible, that is also called heaven, because it's like an outpost. It's a heavenly outpost. They have who knows how many outposts in different places, but I don't know. Maybe the four winds, or the four angels of the four winds are outposts. And maybe the living beings, those angels are actually living beings. Same, I don't know, that are outposts. And that's what might be meant in the T went to a safe place after she left her vehicle. Anyway, so the fact that that program, that spirit, that soul that left the body of Doe and students, bodies, they could easily be directed to go to people. And could easily have those images, the pictures of them, projected onto television screens. They know everything here. They can do whatever they want. If they want to send a signal to all our TVs through, the human structures, they can do that. Maybe they can do it without the human structures. I don't know. So imagine the torment that some will experience when they see that picture in their head and they remember what someone said about those people, that they were the second coming, and that they actually called them heretics. Wouldn't they feel like tortured by that? I would think so. I'll end it there, I guess, for now.